Hey guys, AP here. Really quickly before this video starts, I just wanted to enlighten you guys to something that's about to happen. You guys saw Heinze versus Urs. You guys even saw Arnold versus Cubs. Well, get ready for Ian versus AP. Except it's not even going to be a grand arena. We're going to have a lifting competition. Still working on the details. Nikki Biggs, of course, is going to create the fight poster thumbnail, the same one that Arnold and Cubs had and Heinze and Urs had. So get ready for that. It's definitely going to be a meme. And thanks for all the support. We're almost at 2,500 subscribers, and I thought it would take me a year to get maybe 200 or 300 subscribers. So you guys have been fantastic. Thank you so much. And I hope I just messed that up, but I hope you enjoyed the video. I'm not going to redo this because college takes up too much of my time, and I don't have enough time for another 30 seconds. All right, have fun. Welcome back, Officers of the Republic. It's your Coruscant Underworld Police Chief AP Gaines here, and I just wanted to say we have so many new people in the Discord. We're almost at 1,000 members, and what happens when we get a huge influx of players? We get a huge influx of new players, and new players have never done a Grand Arena before. They're maybe not level 85 yet. They're maybe almost 85. And so many of you guys have been messaging me, hey AP, it's my first ever Grand Arena. I don't really know what to do. I've watched people do it before, but can you walk me through strategy, how to make sure that I win? All of the important stuff that not a lot of people talk about when you watch a GAC video, but goes in the background, behind the scenes that you guys should definitely pay attention to. So I have not placed my defense yet. I haven't even done anything. I clicked on my opponent just to message him. I saw that he had a fantastically beefy squad arena team, great mods and all that stuff. The most important thing is you want to message your opponent. You want to give them their GL, have fun this week. Two reasons. If they decline it, you want to be an absolute maniac and guarantee the win. Also, if they don't open it for a certain amount of time, you can kind of figure out what time zone they live in. So if he still hasn't opened this at this point, so he's probably going to battle before me. He probably lives on the other side of the world, so he's going to battle before me, which means that I can go later and pretty much be sure that he's going to have already attacked, giving me that advantage, seeing how many teams he used against this, how many banners he got, so I can anticipate my strategy. So right off the bat, we want to go in, and the squad arena team is always going to be beefy. So we want to go into their inventory, and we want to look. Doing by power doesn't really do anything, but what we want to do is we want to quickly check speed. So we want to scroll down. So it's 5v5, so I don't even know how many teams I have to place. It's been so long since we've done 5v5. Let me quickly check. He's got 2, 4, 6 teams. Okay, so he's got to place 12 total teams. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to filter by speed. And let's go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we're going to scroll down about here. We're going to find on average how fast the characters. Okay, so 154 bottom of that. So now we want to go over to our rosters. Go down about the same distance. I don't mod particularly well, so we're going to be at somewhat of a disadvantage. We'll scroll down to about, I think this is about where we went to. Any speed whatsoever. Okay, so on average, he's going to be decently faster in the bottom to the middle of his roster, which means when we're actually battling, we need to take in consideration that his middle of the pack and lower teams are going to be slightly more advanced than our middle of the pack lower teams, which you probably could have told by these massive relics over here. Like Relic 7s, Relic 6s, I don't really have any of those. So now we need to break it down by team. So he's going to have a strong Padme team, obviously, because he's got these big relics here. Where he's going to use Yoda, probably under Jedi Knight Revan. He's going to have a Bugs team, which he will likely place on defense. He's got a Darth Revan team. Now, if he didn't have such a powerful Malak, I would say maybe he saves Darth Revan as an insurance policy for offense, so we're going to need to remember that when we're placing our defense. But since he has the Double Zeta Relic 6 Malak, he's probably placing this on defense. And that takes out like 3 of his top 2 rows of characters, which is good because it allows us to maybe place a stronger defense. Now I'm going to talk about general strategy on choosing who to place where on defense, choosing what ships to place where, who to attack, and stuff like that. You guys are definitely going to want to pay attention to that because it's not necessarily something that people talk about a lot. And since I started doing more meme GAC videos, it's kind of been lost on people that there's these complicated processes that you might have to go through to make sure that you get the win. So he's got a Padme team, which he'll probably place on defense if he was smart, because it's just a massive attack. It would really mess us up. Jedi Knight Revan he's probably going to save for offense since he has that Jolee Zeta. He's got another defensive team here, another defensive team here. He's got a CLS team, which he's obviously going to use for offense. Grievous is low, which is good for us, which means there's not going to be a massive banner stealing defensive team. So I'm thinking his general strategy is probably going to be probably 2 strong defensive teams in his Darth Revan Malak and his Geonosians, with a wild card of Padme on defense, saving everything else for offense, trying to get high banners. So I'm going to place my defense now. Oh, I forgot really quickly. We have to make sure. I saw that he had Negotiator, so he's got higher relics than me. Ships you do actually have to sort by power because they sort really weird. So he does actually have some pretty decent ships. I'm going to save my Negotiator and my best squad for offense in case he places his, because I know mine is faster, which gives me a slight advantage. Mirror matches are always iffy. And since he has these stronger Jedi Knight Anakin, it always could turn bad. So that's something we have to worry about. So now we're going to place our defense. And generally, what you want to do is save enough for offense so that you can get efficient banners, make sure that you come out on top, all that stuff. You guys probably understand that. But what a lot of people don't think about when they're placing defenses is some people, including me when I go for memes, because I save all my teams for offense for the streams because, you know, you got to entertain. Going up against a strong team, like if I place a strong defense, it puts the pressure on the opponent. And since I know my opponent is likely going to attack first, that pressure is probably going to be increased because he doesn't have any idea how I did. So he's really rolling the dice when he goes up for stuff. So if I can put pressure on him early, I can likely have an advantage. But that strong defensive team that I could consider placing really quickly, for instance, likely is a Padme team. I mean, I could place a Cup solo, level 69 Cup. It's probably just this decent Padme team. I'd probably take out C-3PO, because actually, you know what? He's got a Darth Revan, so I actually want C-3PO in this lineup. It's probably going to be this Padme team. Maybe take out R2-D2 for literally anything else. Galactic Republic. Honestly, probably is going to have to be Mace Windu. Like a meme, because I took out a couple of other characters I usually put in there. I usually have that C-3PO in there. But since we know he has a strong Jedi Knight Revan team, this team might not be necessarily super effective. So we can still use this team defensively, but what we have to consider is this beefy Jedi Knight Revan combo he's got going on here, which can absolutely shred a Padme team. So we can still use this Padme team, and I still am going to use this Padme team with our Memer-in-Chief right here, Mace Windu, but I'm going to place this on the back wall. The reason I'm going to place this on the back wall is because I know he's got a couple of teams that can beat it, but what I'm going to try to do is bait them out early. How I'm going to bait them out early is I'm going to find a team that he would likely use his Jedi Knight Revan up against, and I don't have a lot of strong defensive teams, and I don't even use these teams, obviously. But since I just went up a division, I need more offensive teams, which puts me at a big disadvantage here because I haven't quite prepared. Obviously, I've been making a bunch of other videos. So what team could I bait out his Jedi Knight Revan with? Honestly, I'm not sure. I would probably say put a little bit of pressure on him early with like a Shaak Ti team. Since they don't get particularly great banners, I am losing the offensive viability of this team. But I am sacrificing it to hopefully bait out a couple of his more stronger offensive teams. Now, a meme team can be deceiving, so they sometimes put a little bit of extra oomph behind their offensive push when they see the meme team right here. It scares people because a lot of people have been stun locked, but since this is a deceptive team, it's low gear. People often overestimate it, bringing in something slightly better. If you look at, like I checked the Swago.gg reports, people use overkill against this team simply because the meme team gives people a little bit of worry. So I'm throwing that in there, trying to bait out these two teams, trying to bait out stronger offensive teams. Not necessarily the strongest offensive teams, but just enough to where that when he hits the back wall, he's got to make sure that he has Jedi Knight Revan, which puts a little bit of added pressure on him. And that pressure is when people start to make mistakes. So really quickly, I'm going to pause right here, and we're going to talk about ships. I haven't actually thought this one through. But he obviously has a negotiator. So what I'm drawn between is, should I save my negotiator for offense to guarantee a full clear ship-wise, or should I place my negotiator on defense? Because I don't think he could full clear a full negotiator team. I don't think he could full clear a full negotiator team, to be perfectly honest. Yeah, interesting. And we're actually doing this live, so he would run negotiator. He would run ETA, probably Umbaran plus Houndstooth, which is the lineup I start with. He'd probably bring in Plo Koon right off the bat. Yeah, he'd probably bring in Plo Koon and then bring in Ahsoka. And then bring in this, the BLT, baby. So he'd probably save that for offense. I'd wager to say that I could win that, but I'm actually going to not take the risk. And what I'm going to instead do is place... I'm going to place Akbar on defense. No, not the smartest play in the world, but I could potentially steal a couple of banners if I can get out relatively early. And to get out relatively early, I need a tank. This Rebel Y-Wing will die fairly quickly. But if I can put out a turn 1 tank in Geonosian right off the bat. Actually, you know what I'm going to do is I'm going to put added offensive pressure with Ty. Bring in Boba for the automatic taunt, just to put a little bit of urgency on him there. And then maybe just do that. Actually, nah. I'm going to bring in some rebels. I'm going to sacrifice offensive power for just pure synergy here. And then I actually am going to bring in an extra taunt. So this is the team I'm going to go with. The taunt just to mess with him. A little bit of offensive pressure. Hopefully that can survive long enough to... I'm actually going to switch these guys out because of the evasion. So I'm actually going to do this. Hopefully these guys can soak up. They'll probably die really quickly against Negotiator. But what I'm really trying to do is take a couple of banners away from that Negotiator team. Bring in a tank just so that Han can survive decently long. And eventually get a couple of banners stolen away. I use my Negotiator on offense. Hopefully I get more banners, i.e. I win. We don't have to prevent the full clear here, but we just have to make sure that we put in teams that are situated to steal a couple of banners. So I know I need 6 offensive teams, probably even 7, because I'm going to lose a battle against that Darth Revan team and have to go in. So I have 1 here, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I don't have a 7th team. So this puts pressure on me to either save Geos for offense and just throw whatever I want on defense, which could be feasible, and use these against, like, I don't know, a random OR team or something like that. So what I'm going to do is I go to about the middle of the pack with that Geo team. I still need to place 3 more teams in here, which is fine, but I'm going to see likely what is he going to save for defense. So just for redundancy, go by power. He's probably going to have used all of this defensively and offensively. So I'm probably going to go against a Phoenix team or an Ewok team on defense or a Night Sister team. So Phoenix, Ewok, Night Sister. Do I have a shot at beating those teams with Geos? And let me quickly just make sure he doesn't, his Traya situation. Oh my god, he doesn't have Traya Zeta. Okay, so this changes everything. I was going to save those Geos for offense, but since he doesn't have the automatic Geo counter, this will actually force him to waste a stronger team against Geos because they are annoying. My Geos aren't good, but they are annoying, which will force out an extra early team. So this is actually the break that I've needed. He doesn't have that Traya, which is awesome. And then I think my 7th offensive team I'm going to go with these guys right here. So I'm going to place a Phoenix Gimme team so he can work out like a solo if he happens to throw one in here. And then the last defensive team, I'm going to use this Ewok team and save that OR team for a 7th potential offensive team right there. So I've planned for his ships just to steal a couple of banners. Not amazing. He's going to blow through them with his Negotiator, because Negotiator obviously is going to destroy that gear. But saved my Negotiator for offense to guarantee a higher banner win, which will give me an advantage in ships. I looked at his teams. I know he's going to place a strong offense or strong defense, and I'm probably going to have to two-shot that super highly relic Darth Revan Malak team. So I saved a 7th offensive team in anticipation for that two-shot. Also, I knew that he had a Jedi Knight Revan team that could beat my best defensive team in Padme, so I tried to bait that out early with a Geo, a meme team, and a Shaak Ti on the front wall. Hopefully he thinks to use that. He probably will spare it because he's probably a smarter player, being around the 3 million GP mark. So if I can bait out a couple of better offensive teams, it gives my Padme a better shot of getting a hold. And that hold is going to be essential for my team, for my GAC to win this round, because he's got that super dynamic Darth Revan Malak team that's just so amazingly highly reliced. And like, I probably couldn't beat this in one shot with my entire lineup. So this team is probably going to have to be a two-shot. So I hope this was informative to you guys. There's going to be a little video after this, so stay tuned, and I'll see you guys later.